Welcome to Mimi's Math Channel. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to use Desmos for probability. We're focused on normal distribution. Pay attention to the notes here that show you the different symbols for mean and standard deviation. For example 1, we're given the mean and standard deviation and we're asked to find the probability and the percent for each. P stands for probability, so we're trying to find the probability when x is less than or equal to 450, and it might just say less than, that's fine as well. Once you go to Desmos, there's two ways that you can do it. The first way is clicking this plus sign and then go to inference, probability distribution. And if you know your mean, go ahead and type it in. And we knew that our mean was 650 and your standard deviation that was given was 100. And now create distribution. What's going to happen is you're going to see the graph of the bell curve, but you also have to continue by pressing this button, cumulative probability. If we go back to what we were asked to find, x is going to be less than 450 or less than and equal to. I see this one is not that. I go over here, that's not it. This is the one x is less than or equal to, and then I'm just going to type in that 450. I see that my probability is 0.023, which is what I wrote here. But if I wanted to change this to a percent, now here, if you're looking at it and you move your decimal over two places, 1, 2, it looks like 2.3, but I want another digit as well. So if you go back and you just click this down arrow and copy it, what you want to do anytime that you're trying to convert to a percentage is multiply by 100, because that's what percent means. And you're just going to take 2.2. This will turn into an 8 because the 5 after it is going to require you to round up. So 2.28%. That is where I got this from. On the next one, I'm looking where x is greater than or equal to 450. So I'm going to change this time to where x is greater than or equal to 450. And now I see 0.977. If I wanted to convert it to a percent, I can just quickly move this over two decimal places, or again, just copy it and multiply times 100. And that's going to show me again 97.7. And then I just put my percent sign. If I took this number and I copied it and I added it to this number, I see that I have accounted for 100% of my data. So that's one way that we can find our normal distribution. Let's say we're going to try to do this one, part C. We can also go to functions and then scroll down until we actually see the heading that says probability. We're going to choose the first one. And again, I can just go ahead and type in my mean and then my standard deviation separated by a comma. So 650, 100. And now I'm going to click on this arrow. So I'm now working with part C. So I'm going to type in 450 and then on the other side, 850. And you want to make sure you go from the smallest number to the largest number. And this is my probability, 0.954. I can again copy it and multiply it times 100, or I can simply move the decimal to the right by two places, which will give me 95.4%. So for part D, we're now given a word problem and we're asked to find how many test scores will be expected to fall between 450 and 850. When we have a word problem that's asking how many, we want to use the decimal. We already have the probability of when it is between 450 and 850. So we're just going to take that number and multiply it times whatever is given in the word problem. In this case, it was 1,000. So once we multiply that, we get the answer 954. This is approximately 954 test scores that will fall between 450 and 850. It has to be a reasonable answer. And then the last example is when you have the z-score, but you don't know your mean and your standard deviation. If this is normally distributed, then we already know that the mean is going to be 0 and your standard deviation is 1. So if it's not given, just go ahead and use that information. But what was given was our z-score of negative 1.37 and positive 1.37. Again, it has to go from least to greatest. And we already know that the answer is 0.829 because I already wrote it down here for you. That is how you use Desmos for probability when you're dealing with normal distribution. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Have an amazing day.